there's no way I can afford that. Man and history have had 2 children. One good, one disruptive, and a slow reader. Their names are Progress and War. War is never pleasant, but at least it's understandable when it's against foreigners. By 1642, we'd run out of foreigners and started fighting each other. Yes, it's the English Civil War. We are history! Thanks, Sue. In 1642, England looked something like this. We have King Charles I, ostensibly in charge, but weak at heart. With him stood the High Church, against them both the Parliament, the Puritans, and Oliver Cromwell. On the high seas, the Navy was controlled by Parliament. The people of England were in turmoil. When in August of 1642, King Charles I declared war on Parliament, and the whole country was drowned in blood. Huntingdon. Oliver Cromwell was MP here. Today, it's just a sleepy backwater full of people who like saga holidays and wife-swapping evenings. Wrong. Huntingdon is a hotbed of revolutionary fervour. No prizes for guessing who they're named after. Oliver Cromwell. New evidence unearthed by a group of local enthusiasts suggests, contrary to all existing historical thought, that it was here, in this hairdresser's, that Cromwell first recruited his new model army. They're still at it today. That's great. Now I've come here to see if I can't kick it all off again. Yes, I've got just 12 and a half hours to try and restart the English Civil War. I'd like a round head, please, Tracy. Not too much off the back, just enough to look like Richard Madeley.
Are you going anywhere on your holidays this year?
Yes, 1642.
That would be nice.
I'm Oliver Cromwell, and I hate the king. Who else hates the king?
We all hate the king!
Then let's get him! Yay! But I can't have my civil war without enemies. I need to find some supporters of the king. Literally the king's head. Quarters. Hello, I'm Oliver Cromwell and I'd like half a shandy, please.
I'm sorry, sir, we don't serve parliamentarians here.
Yeah? You and whose army?
The King's.
The King's Head darts team aren't that different to Charles's Cavaliers. They're well trained, well armed, and well up for it. Would you be prepared to fight for the king?
I would.
Do you think you could take down a hairdresser with a dart?
Yeah, straight in the eyeball.
Long live the king! Meanwhile, back at Cromwell's hair and beauty parlour, stylists are flocking to the parliamentary calls. But do we have the tools for the job? What are we looking at in terms of weaponry here? What have you got?
We've got scissors.
Yeah.
We can stab them. Okay. We've got some nice spray to blind them. And if that doesn't work, we can burn their eyes out. You can do 2 eyes at the same time as well.
Yeah.
Then we have the clippers. You can go in nice and tight.
Yeah,
with that.
Lovely. Have you got a bigger end?
Yes, we've got a really big end.
Oh, look at that. That's stunning. Yes. Oh, yeah, that's great.
And then the pièce de résistance, the cutthroat razor.
Yeah, look at that. That's great. Is that legal?
That is not legal, but we won't worry about that.
Oh, blimey. Where'd you get them? In France or something?
Yes.
So, we know King Charles I was deeply unpopular. He was soft, maybe gay, despised by everyone who he worked with. So, Miles, if you could play King Charles.
Me? What do you mean by that?
Me? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Right, everyone, I want you to meet my enemy, King Charles I. Now, he's your leader, so you better look after him. And I'll see you at 3 for the battle.
Can I get anyone a drink at all?
Yeah, what a great idea, yeah.
We're here.
Yeah.
And if we go up here...
Back at the salon, me and manageress Brenda Downs went through some hairdressing battle tactics. We can take them round the outside in a pincer movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could send a sort of wave of razor attack.
Send the hot tongs in.
Hot tongs,
Yeah.
curling tong
Right.
to the face.
Yeah.
I'm almost tempted to keep those three alive.
What, to torture them later? They've got open wounds. Can make a real nasty mess of them.
And the Cavaliers? They're training for battle in their own inimitable fashion, under King Charles's forceful leadership. Back at the history van, Kieran's been hard at work on his big computer. So, Kieran, what have you got for us?
Well, David, this is a graph showing the amount of history in Huntingdon.
Right,
This is a timeline showing the years that Huntingdon's existed.
I see.
And up the side there's the amount of history that's actually happened.
Right. And that point there,
That's the most history.
that's the Civil War.
That's right, yeah.
Shit, that's a lot of history. 14th of June, 1645, the Battle of Naseby, the decisive battle of the English Civil War. On one side, Cromwell's new model army.
What do we want? King Charles beheaded! When do we want it now?
On the other, King Charles's Cavaliers.
One Charles the First! There's only one Charles the First!
The big battle was on. They had come for a feast of death. Unfortunately for Charles, Cromwell had a bigger plate and a sharper knife and fork. The carnage was immense. Today will be no different. Well, where the hell are they? You know, it's not good enough, is it? I said 3 o'clock for the Battle of Naseby.
Just looking for a bit of a restyle on this, really.
Perhaps they got another commitments, David.
Bit of bouffant at the back
Bit of a
there,
David
make-
Bowie
yeah,
feather cut.
Yeah, that'd be very nice, yes.
What the hell's going on here? What are you doing?
We're just having a chat, David.
What do you mean just having a chat? You're meant to be fighting! After 7 years of fighting and war, the people of Huntingdon had lost their thirst for blood. But the Civil War wasn't over yet. Get up and hit them! Miles, this is all your fault! Shit! Come on! You big hairy ponce! The king was captured and sentenced to be killed to death. Unfortunately, if you want to see a live execution these days, you have to go to Saudi Arabia or Afghanistan. But of course, in the 17th century, they were commonplace. What wasn't so common was a king having his head on the block. That hadn't happened since France, 1789, almost 150 years later. Due to TV censorship, instead of a head, we're using a honeydew melon. We're very lucky to have here the actual death warrant of King Charles I. Normally this is kept in the British Library, but we've been allowed to use it for the programme. I'm going to have to be very careful because it's extremely delicate, but look at that. And it's easy to imagine, isn't it, how Oliver Cromwell and his fellow jurors would have taken their pens and, pausing briefly to think about what they were doing, signing the single most important document in British history. Oh, shit. We've come a long way on our journey through British history. We're pretty much halfway between the past and the present. And if we've learnt anything, it's that the greatest present the present can give the past is not to be past caring about the past in the present. And the rest? Well, the rest is history.
David, that's not going to help. I think you've really badly damaged it.
Of course it will. I've done this thousands of times before. It's perfectly all right. Can you pass me that tea, Kieran?
Yeah, I want...
There you are. Good as new. Or old. Good as old.